Hey everybody! It's like, I don't even know what time it is because it's Friday and I just kind of like to press pause on Fridays. I do know that I kind of should be paying attention to the time. We've got soccer and we have a birthday party. I've got two boys going to a birthday party and Beck going to soccer. I'm going to clean the house like a mad woman because our weekend is stressed. It's busy. It's jam-packed with stuff to do. And one of the things that stresses both Rob and I out is just... I don't even want to say mess because we're not like super clean, crazy, everything in its place kind of a household. We're just not. But laundry gets done on the weekends. Stripping beds gets done on the weekends because we do laundry on the weekends. And so getting things organized on Friday gets us set up for Saturday. So that's what we're going to do. So last couple of days I've been talking about kids and parents and how we stress over life. And here's the thing, right? It doesn't matter what job we have. It doesn't matter where we live. It does not matter where we're from. It doesn't matter what we're from, like what socioeconomic status background we're from. It doesn't matter what neighborhood we're from. Everybody has stress. Every single person has a stressful situation on a daily basis. And so I wanted to talk to you guys about your mindset. And I know I talk to you guys a lot about mindset, but here's the thing. Mindset is not something where you decide to do something and then I'm going to put my mind to it and I'm going to make sure that I get it done this time. Like that's a mindset and it's a shift to make sure you're into that mindset. But your mindset can be something that you allow to take over when stress is presented to you. So whether it's a coworker at work who's always late, or a coworker who's always saying things and joking and adding to your stress, or it's kids and their schedules, or it's traffic and it's lineups at stores. There's always going to be some sort of stressful situation you're going to encounter. But there's some things that I wanted to kind of talk to you today about that you can kind of recognize, control, and move on from when you're talking about that negative mindset. The first one, I got them written down so that I don't forget them. The first one that I want to talk to you is know your trigger. What is it that is triggering that negative mindset? Is it a person? Is it an experience? Is it a certain kind of scenario where you're confronted with conflict with somebody? Whatever trigger is causing you that stress, I want you to really think about, and this is number 2, know the situation, right? Whatever is causing you stress, whether it's traffic, or if it's a lineup, or if it's something to do with your kids and their schoolwork and something that's going on in their little life. Know the situation well. Know what's going on. Get all the pieces before you react. And if you can't get all of the pieces, if you don't understand where somebody else is coming from, but yet they're causing you stress, you kind of got to move on, right? You kind of got to go, you know what? What my friend says, not my monkey, not my circus. Not my monkey, not my circus. Like this is not something that has something to do with me. And so therefore I'm not going to get involved, because if I do, then my stress level is going to rise. Okay. Journaling is an amazing thing for you to do on a daily basis. And I know that some people think, oh yeah, journaling, well, I'll get a cute little journal and I'm going to write it every day and I'll start once and then I'll kind of end. But here's the thing. If you get out all of your negative tension, all of your things that bring you stress, what starts to happen, and I know this kind of sounds wonky, but what starts to happen is you start to honestly recognize those triggers. I have journals from when I was 16, all the way back from when I was 16. Kind of like infants, when my babies were infants, I kind of took a break. Like I've got a journal for Becca, and I've got a journal for Noah, and Becca's journal, of course, goes right from like when I was pregnant with her, and then it goes all the way through, and then Noah's is a little bit shortened, and I didn't even do one for Isaac. Like really? Tell me that's not stressful. But I journal, and so I try to write down all of the things that I'm going through. And I'm going to be really honest with you. When I read back over my journals, every single journal entry, I would say from the time I was like 21, 22 onward, I talked a lot about self-worth and losing weight and hating this and hating that, and I don't like this, and I got to do that, and I got to go on this diet, and I got to start doing this, and I got to do this program, and I'm just going to do that. And then the next day I failed. I did this, I did that. Negative, very negative. But here's the thing. If you write down what you're feeling, not necessarily, all of the negative things that are coming up that you can't do, but all the things in your life that are presenting some stress for you. As you write them down, you start to recognize how you feel in the moment of feeling that stress, right? Of feeling your heart rate elevate, of feeling your palms getting sweaty, of feeling kind of shortness of breath. It's all related to stress. It's all related to anxiety. And that is a reaction to a situation. But if you can start to recognize, okay, this is how I start to feel when I'm in traffic. Listen, I'm not going to get you chanting and meditating, but I'm going to tell you that those of us that do that have coping strategies to kind of get us through stressful situations, what's the alternative? The alternative is to be stressed and to be releasing those cortisol levels and holding on to extra weight and adding on to all of the buildup of emotion and inflammation in our body, when the alternative is to learn some coping mechanisms. So number four, talking about it, right? Talk about it with your friends. Talk about it with your significant other. Talk about it with your sisters, with your best friends. Talk about what it is that triggers some anxiety in you. And I'm going to tell you, the more I learn about how each one of us tick, the more I start to recognize that we are all so similar. So many of us just have the same sorts of triggers that stress us out, and we have coping mechanisms. And so something that I might be doing might help you, and something that you might do might help me. So for example, breathing techniques, ways to kind of slow your heart rate down and really recognize the situation for what it is, right? And I mean, we can talk about something small like traffic, right? Or lineups in a store, and how that can kind of add to the stress of your day, and how that means you're going to be late, and how that means you're going to be late for getting dinner on the table, and that means that you're going to be late getting to soccer tonight, and just in that moment, right? How dare they be in your way in the lineup? And that just adds to your stress. But here's the thing. The alternative is you're still going to be late regardless of how stressed you get. But when you get stressed, you are adding to all of the negative things that come up with stress, like your hormone levels, like that inflammation, like your energy, like your blood cells. Everything's going to be heightened, and it's not healthy. It's not healthy to go there. So the alternative is, so you're going to be late, and you just kind of go with the flow. Okay. And then number five, time to react. Give yourself the opportunity to recognize for what it is. It's a stressful situation. Your kids might be getting in trouble at school. Your spouse might be late for dinner. You might have one thing with Rob and I is that we're busy, right? We have a really busy schedule, and he's really busy and heavily involved in soccer. And we need to have a calendar, an online calendar, where I know what meetings he has. I know when the kids' practices are, because he runs them all. So he knows where they are. But tonight we have birthday parties we had to get presents for. So I have to know when I can schedule those things in when he's having his schedule in. So being able to know what's happening, and when a stressful situation comes up, give yourself time to go, okay, is it fair to blow up right now? Is it fair to get angry at your children? Is it fair to blow up at your husband? And if it is, then you apologize later, right? You just kind of got to go with the flow and recognize your stressful situations for what they are. And number 6, be patient. Be in control. Recognize all of these things that come up in your life that are going to cause stress, and be okay with working through it. Okay? Hope this makes sense. Chat soon.